Good evening, William Theo here, and this is PTV News Now. Agriculture Chief Secretary Francisco Laurel spoke earlier today to allay farmers' fears on reduced tariff on 57% on imported rice on the strength of Executive Order number 62 slashing imported rice tariffs from 35% to 15%. The Aggie chief said although the cut was substantial on imported rice tariffs, which amounted to $22 billion and $29 billion in 2022 and 2023 respectively, the government is dead on balls committed to fill out or make up for the shortfall on the Rice Competitive Enhancement Fund by providing more mechanized inputs or hardware and increased fertilizer distribution to farmers should their bottom lines fall. Under the Rice Tariffication Law or Republic Act 11203, some $10 billion in tariffs collected from importers of rice is set aside for mechanization or farm input support with a separate amount earmarked for financial aid to farmers. Likewise, Secretary Laurel stressed the timeliness of the implementation of Executive Order 62 coming at a time when global rice prices are on the rise, which eventually are going to hurt the consumers. A 6 to 7 pesos per kilogram drop is projected or expected in retail rice prices as a result of the tariff slash. A provision in Executive Order number 62 mandates a review of the status quo to see if adjustments on tariff amount are in order with the welfare of farmers and consumers as priority concerns. Meanwhile, this year's pilgrimage to Islam's holiest shrine was disastrous, deadly on account of exposure to extreme weather. Over 1,300 pilgrims lose their lives because of the high heat. Saudi Arabia's health minister Abdurrahman al-Alajel said 83% or 1,194 of the 1,301 pilgrims who lost their lives under the intense heat were unauthorized pilgrims who walked a long distance on their way to Mecca and other holy sites just to be part of the rituals. More than half of the 1,300 fatalities, or 660, were Egyptians. 165 pilgrims were from Indonesia, 98 from India, and dozens from Jordan, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria. Saudi officials have been cracking down on unauthorized pilgrims, expelling thousands, but still could not contain the flow coming from Egypt, who made their travels on foot and had to bear the scorching heat with no hotels or inns to seek shelter in. And with barely 3.5 days left before the rematch face-off for the 2024 presidential elections in November, both the camps of incumbent and former presidents are ramping up their preparations and rhetoric against each other. VOA's Veronica Balderas Iglesias reports.
Americans must wait until Thursday to know if Donald Trump's criminal conviction will be used as a line of attack on the debate stage by his Democratic re-election challenger, President Joe Biden.
But it's not just to call Donald Trump a convicted felon. It goes to his behavior and it goes to his character. Remember, he's actually filed bankruptcy 6 times. That means that he's not just a bad business guy. It means he screwed all the small people who actually relied on him for a living.
Trump denies those accusations and has also vowed to appeal the guilty verdict. While Biden has been preparing for the upcoming presidential debate behind closed doors, Trump opted to hit the campaign trail over the weekend. He made appearances in Washington and Philadelphia. He didn't hide his eagerness to debate, and at times asked his supporters' opinions on how he should behave when confronting Biden.
Should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history, or should I be nice and calm and let him speak? 50-50. Be tough.
The presumptive Republican presidential nominee also used Saturday's rally to remind voters about his stance on undocumented immigrants.
And on day one, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. We have no choice.
Biden recently rolled out asylum processing restrictions at the southern border. But he also unveiled an action last week that would open the path to citizenship to undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens. During his appearance on NBC, Biden's national re-election campaign co-chair blamed Trump and Republicans for the status quo.
The border is in trouble, and it has been for the past 20 or 30 years in this country. Joe Biden, on day one, sent a comprehensive immigration reform proposal to Congress. They did nothing with it.
Besides immigration, it is expected that Biden and Trump will be asked questions about several other thorny issues during the first presidential debate that will be hosted by CNN on June 27th. Veronica Valderas Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.
And that is a wrap for this evening's program. Bear in mind to always stay informed, get ahead, and catch the news right here. This is William Theo for PTV News Now.